The client's development questions. As you talk to your clients about the actual development process they can expect with you, there are a few key questions that they will need to know the answers to. If they don't ask you these questions, simply ask the question for them, then answer it. Though they may not think to ask, these questions still need to be answered. These questions are: what is the initial cost? What is the development timeline? What are the ongoing costs? How can they make updates, additions, or deletions to their app? What platforms can their app be published to? And what about lead generation or making sales through the app? Competitive advantages. Let's take a look at each of these questions and discuss how you may be able to create a competitive advantage for each of them. When you're answering these questions for a client, think about how you specifically can create a competitive advantage with your answers. We'll provide some examples, but you should be able to come up with a set of your own competitive advantages. What is the initial cost? Initial cost should never be the initial topic you discuss with your client. This is true for two reasons. You don't yet know how much time the app will take to build, and a number quoted out of thin air will always be the wrong number to your customer. It'll be too high or too low. You can create a competitive advantage by itemizing each piece of functionality you'll be adding to the app after completely and fully understanding what your client really needs. You may not be the cheapest developer they talk to, but if you can show them the value of each particular function, the client can better gauge what value you're actually giving them. A good best practice is to say that you will call them back only after discovering their motivations with an itemized price quote. At this time, you can discuss whether or not your price is too high by offering to remove some functionality for a lower initial development cost. What is the development timeline? Whether your client needs an app fast or they can wait months for a finished product, you have a competitive advantage. If your client needs an app fast, you can very easily use Conduit Mobile or iBuildApp to add all the app functionality, finish the graphic design, and publish apps in just a day or two. Generally speaking, you can charge a premium if you can work that quickly. You can also use your short app development time to win jobs over competitors that have slower development times. If your client doesn't need an app very quickly, you can work on the project during your downtimes when you have less work. You may choose to charge less for these development jobs since you can manage your time more efficiently when you have a few of these projects on your list. What are the ongoing costs? First, you need to figure out what your ongoing costs are. Unless you're writing code from scratch, you'll likely be using a service that costs a little money every month. You'll also have yearly developers account fees if you offer to upload to specific platforms like iOS or Windows Phone for your clients. Keep in mind that these ongoing costs go down relative to the amount of development you can charge for. So leverage your good fortune into lower prices for your clients and you'll be surprised how quickly the word spreads. The ongoing costs you incur as a developer for using app building services allows you to offer a unique proposition to your clients. We're going to talk about that next. How can they make updates, additions, or deletions to the app? App developers often charge ongoing fees for app updates or app hosting. You can do this as well to mitigate your ongoing costs, or you can take an alternative approach by allowing your clients to make changes to their own apps. Not only does this allow you to charge very low or even no ongoing fees, it allows your client to take control of their app in a way that is not even possible for most developers. If you're using Conduit Mobile or iBuildApp, your hosting fees are built into your payment plan, so this is a cost you don't need to pass on to your clients. Please be aware that while iBuildApp allows you to make changes to your apps without having to resubmit a new version to the app marketplaces, Conduit Mobile does require that you submit new versions. Take that into account when calculating your ongoing costs, since this will be a cost of valuable time. What platforms can their app be published to? In a perfect world, the answer to this question would be all of them. But we don't live in a perfect world. The app submission process is different for every app marketplace, and each comes with its own fees. In addition, there's the question of whether you will require your clients to open their own developer's account and pay the fee themselves, or publish their apps under your own account. Each option has its pros and cons. It's much harder to make a sale if you make your clients jump through the hoops of opening and paying for their own developer's account. On the other hand, if you publish under your own account, you'll be responsible for that app as long as it's on the market. So where's your competitive advantage here? You should be able to publish apps to at least the two major marketplaces, iOS and Android. If you're using Conduit Mobile, you can also offer your clients a Windows Phone app and a free mobile website, since they're created automatically when you build their app. Here's the big advantage you have over other developers, and a well-kept secret. You can charge for one app and deploy to several marketplaces. Your competitors often charge to build an app for each platform individually. Make certain you stress this to your clients. It will win you a lot of jobs. What about lead generation or making sales through the app? There are many ways to capture leads and many ways to make a sale. Use your imagination to come up with easy ways to specify where leads or sales are coming from. Let's look at an example. For leads, create a custom form inside the app to capture leads. When you specify that the lead is coming from the app, and perhaps even from a specified platform, those leads are trackable. That's all most clients will want. For sales, set a different product code for each product to reflect that the sale came from the app and not from the client's website. Heck, even changing the price a bit lets you know where the sale came from. Firm or individual. You either work with a firm or you are an individual developer. This may or may not be of any import to your client. However, you have a competitive advantage in both circumstances. Here's what you can say to your clients in both situations. If you work for a firm, you can say, I have several very talented people working with me at Firm X. So we'll be able to develop your app quickly and leverage the skill sets of each member of the firm to develop the best quality app possible. If you work as an individual, you can say, I'm an individual developer, so I can focus all my efforts on developing your app, and you don't have to deal with the headache of communicating with multiple people. We will create an outline for your app together, and we can finish it together. See how that works? Mobile website. Using Conduit Mobile, you can create a mobile website for your clients in addition to their app. This can be a real game changer when you're bidding app development projects. Very often, a company has to choose between developing a mobile app and a mobile site for their business. Often the costs associated with having both developed are simply too much, and the company has to choose between the two. If you can offer a free mobile site, or perhaps charge a little bit for it, along with building their app, not only will you likely get the job, they'll be grateful for it.